Welcome back to the LeverUp AMA series. I'm Marcus, and today we're digging into something I get asked about constantly, LVMON staking yield. Where does it actually come from? Is it real, is it sustainable, and how do you verify it yourself? Joining me is James from the LeverUp team. James, good to have you.
Good to be here, Marcus.
So let's just get straight to it. LVMON staking shows an APY. When people see that number, a lot of them assume there's someone sitting in a room deciding what rate to pay out. Where does the yield actually originate?
That's the right first question. The yield starts at the monad validator layer. The protocol holds underlying MON reserves and delegates them to monad validators through the MON staking vault. Those validators earn staking rewards, and that reward flow is the primary yield source feeding into the LVMON staking system. So the chain is, MON reserves get delegated to validators, validators generate rewards, those rewards flow back into the vault, and that's what stakers ultimately capture.
So it's not LeverUp creating yield from thin air or subsidizing it from some treasury.
Not a subsidy, no. The underlying source is monad validator rewards. The protocol's role is to route and concentrate that yield through the sLVMON mechanism.
All right, let's talk about sLVMON. When someone stakes their LVMON, they get sLVMON in return. Walk me through what sLVMON actually represents.
sLVMON is built on the ERC 4626 vault standard. When you deposit LVMON into the staking vault, you receive sLVMON shares in return. Each sLVMON share represents a proportional claim on the total pooled LVMON assets sitting in the vault. So it's not a fixed receipt saying, you deposited 100 LVMON, you'll get exactly 100 back. It's a share of whatever the vault holds in total.
So the sLVMON I hold today might redeem for more LVMON tomorrow than it does today.
Exactly, that's the core mechanism. The share value formula is total LVMON assets in the vault divided by the total number of sLVMON shares in circulation. As rewards accumulate in the vault, increasing total assets, while the share supply stays relatively stable, each sLVMON becomes redeemable for more LVMON over time. That appreciation in the redemption rate is how yield is expressed.
Can you give me a concrete number so people can see what that looks like in practice?
Sure, on March 20 of this year, one sLVMON was redeemable for about 1.9933 LVMON. By June 25, that same one sLVMON was redeemable for 3.095 LVMON. That growth from 1.9933 to 3.095 over roughly 3 months is where the APY figure comes from. It's the annualized rate of that share value increase.
Okay, that's a meaningful increase, but I want to push on the APY display. The number people see in the app, how is that actually calculated? And why can it look higher than what you might expect from monad validator yields alone?
This is the part that trips people up most, so let's be precise. The displayed APY is the current annualized share value growth rate, but the key variable that can make it look elevated is the staking participation rate, meaning what fraction of all LVMON holders actually choose to stake. Think about the denominator in the yield formula. It's the LVMON actually participating in the staking vault. Not all LVMON holders stake. Some hold LVMON for other purposes, some use it in trading. That means the same underlying validator reward stream gets divided among a smaller group. Fewer participants sharing the same yield pool means each participant captures more. That concentration shows up as a higher apparent APY.
So if tomorrow half the LVMON supply suddenly staked, the APY would drop.
Directionally, yes. If more LVMON enters the vault, the denominator of the yield calculation increases, and assuming the underlying MON reward rate stays constant, the per staker return moves toward a level reflective of that broader participation. The APY is dynamic, not a locked-in promise.
What are all the variables that actually move the APY?
5 main inputs. 1. The underlying MON staking reward rate from validators. 2. Total sLVMON TVL, the size of the vault. 3. The LVMON holder participation rate in staking, which we just covered. 4. The timing and cadence of reward inflows to the vault. And 5. Actual share value growth as it compounds. Change any one of those and the APY figure shifts. So when you see an APY number in the UI, treat it as the current participant yield rate, not a guaranteed fixed return.
You mentioned users don't have to take the front end's word for it. What can someone actually check on-chain?
4 contract calls give you everything you need. First, totalAssets on the sLVMON vault that tells you the total LVMON held. Second, totalSupply on sLVMON, total shares in circulation. Divide the first by the second and you get the current share value. Third, previewRedeem 1. Just ask the vault directly how much LVMON 1 sLVMON redeems for right now. And fourth, stakedBalance on the MON staking vault, which shows the scale of MON currently delegated to validators. Cross-referencing those 4 gives you a complete picture without trusting any front-end display.
That's a clean set of checks. And the on-chain snapshot from June 25, what did those numbers look like?
At block 83,703,985 on June 25, sLVMON vault assets were 20,789,833 LVMON. sLVMON supply was 6,713,784 shares. 1 sLVMON redeemable for 3.095 LVMON. And MON delegated through MON staking vault was over 62 million MON. Those are the raw numbers anyone can verify by querying the deployed contracts.
And the growth from 1.01 million LVMON staked to 20.79 million in 3 months is about a 20x increase in vault size.
Roughly 20.5x in staked TVL, yes. The share value grew about 1.55x in the same window. 2 distinct metrics telling 2 different stories. TVL growth is about adoption, share value growth is about yield accumulation.
One more thing before we close: security. How do users know the vault itself is sound? ERC 4626 is a standard, but standards can be implemented badly.
The relevant LeverUp smart contracts have gone through third-party security assessments, including audits by Zenith. Beyond that, ERC 4626 is a well-established vault standard with extensive ecosystem usage and scrutiny, so the underlying architecture isn't experimental. And the on-chain verifiability we just talked about is itself a security property. You don't have to trust a front-end or an off-chain oracle for the share value. The contract exposes it directly.
So the claim is, you can independently verify the yield source, the share value, and the MON delegation scale, all from public on-chain data.
Correct, that's the transparency model. The APY shown in the app is the annualized rate of share value growth. The share value growth comes from MON validator rewards flowing into the vault. All of that is queryable. Nothing in the yield mechanism requires trust in an off-chain number.
All right, let me recap what we covered. LVMON staking yield originates from MON delegated to monad validators, not from a subsidy or treasury handout. sLVMON is an ERC 4626 vault share. Each sLVMON represents a proportional claim on pooled LVMON, and its redemption value grows as rewards accumulate. The APY is dynamic. It moves with validator reward rates, vault size, and how many LVMON holders are actually staking. Because not everyone stakes, those who do get a concentrated share of the yield stream, which can make the APY appear higher than a blended average would. And every piece of that, share value, total assets, MON delegation, is verifiable on-chain with 4 contract calls. If you want to read the full breakdown including the exact on-chain snapshot data and the contract call list, the article is up at blog, LeverUp, Zeiss. And if you're holding LVMON and haven't looked at the staking vault yet, the link is app, LeverUp, Zeiss/LVMON. James, thanks for the clarity.
Thanks, Marcus.